Myself, I've got a bit of an opioid history. Now, mine goes back in time to high school basketball. I just wanted to play. Going into my senior year, I had already torn up my left knee in football, but I wanted to play. And I was able to take the prescription every day that we play pretty much pain free. Unfortunately, I developed a reaction to those pills. And when I went off the pills, I knew I was in trouble. I want to start today by reading from a review we received from one of our Herbal Mana customers. This is from Barbara. Barbara said, I've just got my product this week and wow, it works so well. No pain in my ankle or my wrist. I even shared it with my doctor and she said it was okay. I've been on opioids for 20 years and it just dulled the pain. But this is awesome. No pain now. Thank you. I'm a customer for as long as I'm on this side of heaven. Gosh, can't beat that kind of a review. Hey, welcome to the Herbal Mana Podcast. My name is Todd Bailey. I am the CEO of Herbal Mana, also chief product tester, mostly because I've got quite a history with chronic pain, injuries, and so forth. So I'm like a lot of our customers. Hey, back to Barbara. Barbara said, I've been on opioids for 20 years. 20 years. And she said, it's just dulled the pain. Well, that's part of the problem with opioids. Opioids have all kinds of issues. One of the biggest problems, and this is really real, opioids have a diminishing return. The longer you take them, the less effective the opioids are. That's one of the reasons we've just kind of emerged from quite an opioid crisis. And that's not the only problem. There are all kinds of other nasty little side effects from opioids. So I've got a bit of an opioid history. Now, mine goes back in time to high school basketball. Going into my senior year, I had already torn up my left knee. So I went to see my surgeon, the same one that rebuilt my left knee during my sophomore year of high school. And I said, I just want to play. Just help me get through. And he said, all right, I've got something for you. And he offered me a prescription. And I was able to take the prescription. I was able to take a pill every day that we play pretty much pain free. Unfortunately, about midway through the season, I developed a reaction to those pills. And when I went off the pills, I knew I was in trouble. There's just a lot of pain. In fact, the doc said to get you by the rest of the season, take 2 aspirin, 2 hours later, 2 Tylenol, 2 hours later, 2 aspirin, and do it all day and all night. And that helped me to survive the rest of basketball season, but I was a mess, already a mess. I had surgery shortly after basketball season wrapped up, and the doc said I trashed that knee. In fact, because of all the wear and tear that I couldn't feel, I was just chewing through the cartilage. I had the cartilage under my kneecap chewed away before I was even out of high school. So I was 18 years old, already bone on bone, because I was given drugs that masked the pain, but didn't do a thing for the symptoms, which is just horrible. I was a candidate for a knee replacement when I was 18 years old. The docs had me wait till I was 50. So I had a long time just managing, trying to get by. Another customer, this is Mary C. She said, I applied the Frankincense DMSO Gel. And within minutes, the pain had subsided. I honestly didn't expect much because I've tried so many things before, but this felt different. Why did she get such a better result? What felt different and why was her relief so quick? The underlying reason happens to be the formulas we use, the ingredients that we use. And for Frankincense DMSO Gel, the real star is the DMSO. Now, frankincense is awesome. It helps mellow out the inflammation. It's very grounding, soothing. It helps with recovery and with healing. It's also really helped by the DMSO. DMSO helps the absorption, and DMSO can give very quick relief. With DMSO, we get a really potent anti-inflammatory, best in nature. The inflammation, when we have an injury, that's an awesome thing. It's great. It's very helpful at first. It's when inflammation becomes chronic that it's problematic. And she had some chronic inflammation. It had gone on for some time. The pain had been nagging at her for a very long time. With the DMSO, she was able to get some quick relief. That was the inflammation being reduced. On top of that, DMSO helps with permeability of cell walls. What that means for us as chronic pain folks, it means that DMSO gets in quickly, can pass through the cell walls into the underlying tissues, not just left on the surface like so many of those topicals that you can buy at the grocery store. It goes into the tissue. It helps the tissue underneath all the way down to the joint with the inflammation. but it also takes all of the other goodness along with it. In the Frankincense DMSO Gel, for instance, you get the frankincense pulled right along with the DMSO. Gets into the joint where we need it. With our products, you'll also get things like hyaluronic acid, which is great for reducing inflammation, rebuilding tissue, soothing all of that irritation. We can also use things like vitamin D. We want to pull that into the joint. MSM, want that into the joint so we can get some relief. All of that's possible with the DMSO. On top of that, DMSO will settle down the nerves that are signaling the pain. So instead of having the acute pain just thumping away, all those signals going, we can actually settle the signals down. So the pain is actually reduced while the DMSO, the frankincense, the hyaluronic acid, and the other things are reducing the inflammation and helping the underlying healing, real healing. No more masking, no more just strapping on a pill. On top of that, DMSO will help oxygen get to the injury, to that irritation, and that'll accelerate the healing. So there are a lot of good benefits from the DMSO itself. We want that benefit for the healing rather than just a mask. Can't just mask. If we mask, we end up with, well, guys like me. I would take things like Aleve or ibuprofen, and I would use one of them until I got internal issues because they're really horrible on your GI tract. So I would get sometimes intestinal bleeds. I would stop the Aleve. I would switch to something else like ibuprofen, and then I would repeat the cycle. Again, just masking and actually slowing down the healing. What turned the corner for me, really opened my eyes, is when my wife helped me after knee replacements. I got knee replacements 11 years ago. I was 50 years old, got both knees replaced that year, one in January, one in December. After the January replacement, the doc sent me home with 3 different painkillers, a couple of opioids and something else. They worked. They took care of the pain for about an hour. I was supposed to take all 3 at the same time. I got an hour of relief. I could sleep, and then I couldn't sleep at all. I was in pain, and I couldn't take them again for up to 5 more hours. That was not working for me. Well, we tried something. After about 2 days, my wife said, enough of this, because she could see I was in pretty rough shape. Instead of popping more pills, we went off the pills, and instead she applied to the bottoms of my feet frankincense, which is awesome, wintergreen essential oil, which is great for managing pain and some other benefits. And then some cream that she had that was great for holding all the oils in place. What happened for me was awesome. I got 3 to 4 hours of relief, equivalent to the relief I got from the pills. And something else that's wonderful with the essential oils and other natural ingredients, I can use them as often as I need. I don't have to wait 4 or 5, 6 hours to pop another pill. If I feel like the effectiveness is kind of going down, I could just apply some more oil, apply some more product. The same thing is true of our Herbal Mana products. They're all natural. They work perfectly. You could rub them on. If the effectiveness wears off in a few hours, you rub a little more on. You don't have to wait. You don't have to suffer. And that's what we're after here. All right, one more quote, one more customer review. And these are all legitimate, real customer reviews. This is from Mary E. Not Mary C. That was earlier. Mary E. Mary wrote that she bought Alpha Warrior Cream. That's one that I use every day. She said, I got this for my husband who has constant pain from a partially torn rotator cuff. That's a tear of the tissue of the shoulder. He is in a wheelchair, and having his arm strapped in a sling for 10 months isn't an option. Herbal Mana has given him his freedom to get about without intolerable pain. Plus, he's been able to get back into the hobby that he enjoys, photographing wildlife. Thanks for the quick delivery. She is very happy, and he is getting more out of life. That's what we're after. Just like Mary's husband, he was able to start pursuing his hobby of wildlife photography again without the intolerable pain, which is wonderful. And we hope you got something out of this. If you did, subscribe, share this, and don't forget to check below for a coupon for your next purchase. I'm glad that you joined us. We want to help you hurt less and live more. Look forward to seeing you again.